You got your list? No, Kelsey made it, not me. Yeah? Can I ask you for a favor though? So this is what we've, can't say decided, but from Monday, unless you feel compelled to do so, like you haven't been able to remember them after much exertion, please don't bring any material to debate from Monday onwards. Yeah? Can we try? Yeah? No papers, no pens, no notebooks. No, evening debate. Yeah. In the debate, of course, sorry. In the debate sessions, please try not to bring anything, if possible. If then you feel extremely uncomfortable with it, then do it on Monday, but then try and not do it on Tuesday. If on Tuesday you feel extremely uncomfortable, then do it on Wednesday. Do it on Tuesday, but not on Wednesday. But by like Friday, next week, let's try and make sure that this is not coming anywhere with us.
Okay, so we consider it as an instruction.
No, as a learning tool.
Okay.
Yeah, like look at this. You know how Gen yesterday was talking about things that relatively are to be used and then abandoned.
Yes.
So this is to be used by you, and this is to be used by you out there. When you come in here, this is to be abandoned. And then when you go back outside, this is to be cultivated. But when you come back in here, this is to be abandoned, right? The quicker we get into that habit, the better it's going to be, okay? Also, the definitions aren't that hard just yet. So if you've tried and it's not happening, then it's an exception, right? Then there's nothing to say. But if you've tried and it's happening, then bringing this is pointless. So just try and make that happen. Is that okay? Memorize them. Yeah, they're not so hard. No, it's just A's and B's, and it's stuff that you've done during the day. And if you don't remember it, someone else will remember it. So you can walk into the debate room and say, "Hey, what were the relations? You remember them like that?" Yeah. So just kind of play off each other's skills and make it a united effort of memorizing instead of this. Is that okay? So you have Thursday, agree? Good. Thursday, Friday, Saturday you can do a little bit, Sunday rest, Monday morning, and then Monday evening. Self-sufficient. Yeah? Okay. Just one thing here on the last page, the causal primary elements, these are explanations. They're not the divisions. The divisions are still earth, fire, water, wind. And the definitions you find in your text on page, I just marked them. Here, on page 132. So you'll see that when we read it, but just because you're debating this a little bit now, you see there's the first citation, then there's a second citation, when the characteristics of the four great elements, yeah? There's that. And then after that, in brief, if an explanation is given of the four elements by combining their natures and functions, then you have them. That which is solid and hardens is earth, that which is wet and moistens is water, that which is hot and burns is fire, and that which is light and moves is wind. Yeah? So these are, but then we'll see together later how this is talking about the nature and the function together. But that'll come later. So just for now, if you're memorizing them, these are the definitions. 132. It's the same ones that we'd given before. Yeah, see? Yeah, but just like if you want the reference from the text, it's on page 132, and it's slightly different. We've put it in that which is hard and obstructive. This is that which is solid and hardens, right? Okay? That which is wet and moistens right? Wet and moistening is the same thing. That which is hot and burns, that which is hot and burning. That which is light and moves, that which is light and moving. So the only one where you have a slight difference from our text is the first one, which is solid and hard, right? Is that okay? So that's where you find them. And if you notice that there's two things being mentioned, hard, obstructive, wet, moistens, hot, burning, it's talking about the nature of the thing and its function. Yeah? But anyways, we'll come to this later, just so that you have somewhere in the text where you can find these. Okay? Yeah? The sheet is already there, so just go with the sheet now. I think it is going to make your life easier. Or do you want to change the sheet? I don't think that makes sense. You want to change the sheet? Okay. So then hard and solid. Yeah, let's just go hard and solid. Okay? What happened, Mark? No. In the back, this one, the division on the sheet, this is not a division. These are ways that they are spoken of. This is not technically a division. Yeah? No, it's not. It's not a division. This is just cross it out as division, and it's an explanation. So you speak of. We'll do this when we do the primary element. I think tomorrow. They're called the generating cause, supporting cause, stabilizing cause, dependent cause. But these are not divisions of primary elements. The primary elements are still earth, fire, water, air. Wind, sorry, we're calling it wind. Okay? Yeah.
It says it's producer of derivative forms.
Of?
The four great elements constitute five types of causes that act as a producer of derivative.
Yeah. So these five that you're seeing, no, generative, supportive, these are why they are called primary. So they are primary because they produce or they kind of generate form by being a generative cause, a supporting cause, a stabilizing cause. That's all going to come when we do it later. Because in our text, when we did tactile base, if you remember, no, not if you remember, it says, see, as for the primary elements, these will be discussed in a later section on 108. When it came to what the primary elements are, it didn't list them when we did tactile bases, right? It said it's coming later. The later is the chapter that we still have to do. In the chapter, the definitions that we have are on 113, I think. Was it? Yes? Was it 113? No. It's 116, I think it was then. What was this reading from? Oh, right, sorry. 132? Yeah, here. So the definitions are on 132. Yeah? Two, hard, and yes, that's it. All the others are the same. That's why I prefer the one in the text, but because I saw, can I be decisive? It stays like it stays on the sheet, period. Okay? Stop. Okay? Yeah. So solid over here is the translation that the translator has chosen, which is the same word in Tibetan, which means obstructive. So it's easier with obstructive, okay? Mark? No, use 132 as if you're looking in the text where they're coming from, but just know that what they're translating as solid here is the Tibetan, is the same word we're translating as obstructive. It's the same word. Got it? Got it? Is it? Oh, really? Solid, the definition? Okay. No, but just, these are this is the translation, right? So in Tibetan, it's, what is it? It's Sashin Seba, I think, which means hard and obstructive. So it's solid and hard in English, you can use it in both ways, and then hard can be obstructive. So it's just hard and obstructive is just a different choice of terms. But I think rightfully, if you just say solid and hard, you're not giving any function. Whereas if you say obstructive, you are. Yeah, but no. Just go with obstructive. Okay? Just go with obstructive. Yeah? Then the whole explanation, and it's kind of, it's a bit of a headache. That whole chapter is a bit of a headache. because there's the Vaibhashika presentation, the Sautantrika presentation, the Yogachara presentation, and the Madhyamika one. But the one that we're going with is the Sautantrika one, right? Okay? That's that. No, we're not doing that at all. I just wanted to, because you have this now with you, I just want to clarify the thing on the last page. The causal primary elements, those 5 are not divisions. That's just different ways of talking about the 4. So the divisions are still earth, fire, water, wind. Yeah? Just that's still the same. Okay? When we do the chapter later, then we're going to have to go through all the different presentations, and everyone has their own kind of way of talking about them. Yeah? Okay? So now going ahead with the text. This is what it is. Just the correction is the last thing. Just that one, yeah? Okay. And we're calling it wind, is it? Yeah, air or wind energy. Okay? Fine? Okay. It's debate time. Yeah, tell me. Yes. What page was it? Yeah. I saw that. So I was reading actually right now on break. I had a feeling this is what? Oh, is it still cutting out? Okay. Yeah, they don't need to be posited as obstructive, it said, no? You're reading page 90, right? I was reading it ahead, then see down here. So I'm a little confused. I just wanted to check this. In the Asanga's compendium of ascertainment, see at the bottom it says one should recognize the 3 general characteristics of form. You see page 91 right at the end? 91 at the end. All form impedes objects, right? And always exists separate from such objects. Yeah? So I want to just double check on this one, because I'm a little confused how it can simultaneously not be obstructive and impede. Because the general characteristics are general characteristics of all form. Yeah? So I remembered seeing something else in this one. So I was just trying to catch up on the break. And I found that there's this. So I'm a little confused on this point. Let me just get back to you on it. Is that okay? Yeah? See the 3 here, general. It has to impede. And then it talks about, and it says these are general characteristics, and then on the next page there's 3 specific characteristics. The general ones extend to all form, and the specific ones are talking about the 3 kinds of divisions that it's doing it in. Yeah? Okay? Debate things. Tonight we're going back to debate, right? Are you comfortable with debate yet? Where are you stuck? You're not comfortable? Do you want to try? So let's try it now. No. Not you. We. I mean you as in plural you. Yeah. Visible form. Yeah. Like? It's like if the tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it make a sound? It's that kind of thing, right?
But no one's there to hear it, so it can't.
What's the relation between, okay, take something that is an object of eye consciousness, take something that is an object perceived by an eye consciousness, and something that, so an object perceived by an eye consciousness, if it is an object perceived by eye consciousness, it follows it has to be perceived by an eye consciousness.
I accept.
If it is perceived by an eye consciousness, it follows it has to be an object perceived by an eye consciousness.
I accept.
Right? So if it is an object perceived by an eye consciousness, it follows that there has to be an eye consciousness perceiving it.
Okay.
It follows there has to be an eye consciousness perceiving it in that moment. Accept? In that moment. Accept?
I
Take, what do you want? You agree? It has to be perceiving it in that moment?
Well, there is the object, what's it, knowable object? That which is fit to be
Right?
cognized by an
But there is,
awareness.
yeah, so just go with it.
Okay. So
If there has to be an eye consciousness perceiving it, are you
Well-
agreeing? No, you're all answering together. Accept? Yeah?
I accept.
Why? So then you're already not agreeing. Fine. You're all accepting there has to be an eye consciousness perceiving it.
I accept.
Yeah? If a chili is spicy, there has to be a tongue consciousness perceiving it. So take a chili before you eat it, it follows it's not spicy.
Why?
Because there's no tongue consciousness perceiving it. It's not spicy, no?
Uh,
Just take a chili before you eat it. It follows it is not spicy. Or like the sugar
Why?
the sugar in the tea before you drink it. It follows it's not sweet. It follows it's not sweet.
Why?
It's not sweet before you drink it. Before you drink it, it follows it's not sweet.
I
It
accept.
follows that before you drink this tea has no taste. Right? It follows that this tea has no taste before you drink it. Agree? It follows that before you hear a sound, it doesn't exist. Accept. Now, take the taste of this tea. It follows it is a cause of your tongue consciousness. It follows it exists before your tongue consciousness. It follows the taste that is the cause of your tongue consciousness exists before the tongue consciousness. Take the taste before, take taste that is the cause of tongue consciousness. It follows it is not taste because it is not perceived by a tongue consciousness. So it follows that there is no taste that is a cause of tongue consciousness. It follows there is taste that is cause of tongue consciousness. It follows in that moment there is tongue consciousness. It follows it is not the cause of tongue consciousness. It follows it is the cause of tongue consciousness. It follows it's not the cause of tongue consciousness. Except it follows there is no taste that is the cause of tongue consciousness. It follows taste is not a cause of tongue consciousness. It follows that this pillar is not a cause of your eye consciousness. It follows that without the pillar you can still have eye consciousness. That sees the pillar. It follows that without the pillar you can still see the pillar. Why? It follows it is a cause of your eye consciousness. It follows it's not a cause of your eye consciousness. Then why can't you see it without the pillar? Oh, it follows that there's only one cause of your eye consciousness that sees a pillar. It follows that there's more than one cause. It follows that the eye sense faculty, the one that we saw today, is the cause of eye consciousness. It said that, right? The text said that. So it follows that there is a cause of your eye consciousness, that is the eye sense faculty. Is that sufficient? If you have consciousness and eye sense faculty, will you necessarily see the pillar? Yeah? So wherever you have eye sense faculty and you have eye consciousness, you see pillars. No, right? It follows that there is somewhere where you have eye sense faculty, you have consciousness, but you don't see a pillar. There is, right? There is a place like that? Why don't you see a pillar over there? Is there somewhere where you have your eye sense faculty and you have a preceding moment of consciousness, but you don't see a pillar? Yeah? Right? Why don't you see a pillar over there? It follows that for that eye consciousness that sees a pillar to arise, there has to be a pillar. It follows there has to be a pillar. I'm not saying only a pillar. Does there have to be a pillar? It follows a pillar is a cause of eye sense consciousness. It follows that it is not, take pillar that is cause of eye sense consciousness. It follows it is visual form. It follows it's not visual form because it's not an object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it's not perceived by eye consciousness because in that moment there is no eye consciousness that sees it. It follows it's not a object of eye consciousness because in that moment there is no consciousness, eye consciousness that perceives it. What no pervasion? What no pervasion? It doesn't follow that it is not an object of eye consciousness. Yeah, are you all agreeing with this? I'm saying the syllogism again. Get familiar with the no pervasions. Take the pillar that is the cause of your eye consciousness. It follows it is not an object of eye consciousness, object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it's not visual form because it's not an object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it is an object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it is not an object perceived by eye consciousness. I am contradicting you, so I have to go in both directions. You have to remember what you're saying. It follows it is an object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it is not an object perceived by eye consciousness. Because in that moment there is no eye consciousness that perceives it. Reason not established, no pervasion. Reason not established, no pervasion. Which one? What no pervasion? No, no pervasion. In the syllogism, reason, predicate. You need to start getting familiar with no pervasions, right? So slowly, that it takes, this is probably the last hurdle on your learning debate path, right? Literally.
The eye consciousness perceives the object which is perceived by the our consciousness is in its visible form.
So this is like kind of like me saying, have you had breakfast and you're like, the weather is very nice. There's no connection whatsoever. That's not at all the reason that I gave, right? So when you say no pervasion, it's very specific to the syllogism, right? So the syllogism is, listen again, take the pillar that is the cause of eye consciousness, right? It's a pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness. It follows it is not visual form. Is it visual form? Pillar that is cause of eye consciousness. Careful, my subject is very specific. Very good, very good. Take a pillar that is cause of eye consciousness. It follows it is not visible form. I haven't given a reason yet. It follows it is not visible form. Take a pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness. It follows it is visible form. It follows, it's not visible form? Okay. Who's saying it's not visible form? Anyone else? Maya, is it not? Yeah, very nice. It follows it exists. A pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness, is it an existent or a non-existent? So there is no pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness. So there is no such thing that is a pillar and a cause of eye consciousness, correct? So there is no such thing that is a pillar and a cause of eye consciousness. That's what you're saying, right? Right. So eye consciousness doesn't take eye consciousness that sees pillar. It follows the pillar is not a cause of that eye consciousness. That's great. I'm very happy that you are, but let's carry on. Is it a cause of eye consciousness or not? Here, you're perceiving this pillar. Look, it's not a hidden phenomenon. Look right now. Okay? Right? Now do this and look in the front. Literally, just do it. Do this. You won't see a pillar, right? So why did you see a pillar when you looked here and not when you looked down? So is the object a necessary condition for your perception of the object? No. So you can see a pillar with your eyes in the absence of a pillar? Is an illusory pillar a pillar? Really? Huh? It's not, right? So, do you need a pillar to be able to see a pillar? So, take that pillar that is necessary for you to see a pillar. It follows it is an object of your eye consciousness. It follows it is a cause of your eye consciousness. It follows there is a pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness. Take pillar that is a cause of eye consciousness. It follows it exists. Great. It follows it is impermanent. It follows it is either matter or consciousness or non-associated formative factor. Very nice. It follows it is internal matter, external matter, mental sense object, or it is one of the elements from which the previous three arise. Which one? Internal, external, which one? It follows its external matter. It follows it is either visual form, taste, smell, touch, sound. It follows it is visual form. Take a pillar, that is the cause of eye consciousness. It follows it is an object perceived by eye consciousness. It follows it is not an object perceived by eye consciousness because there is no eye consciousness that perceives it. It follows there is an eye consciousness that perceives it. It follows there is no eye take pillar that is the cause of eye consciousness. It follows there is no eye consciousness that perceives it because it doesn't perceive it in that moment. It follows it perceives it in that moment. It follows it is not a cause of that eye consciousness because it is being perceived in that moment. No. Reason not established, no pervasion. What no pervasion? No. See, again, you're giving me your explanation, which is you have to refrain from that. So take a pillar, that is the cause of eye consciousness. One sec, just as normally. Is eye consciousness perceiving it in the moment where there is the pillar or in the next moment?
Actually, it's a continuum.
No. In that moment or next moment? Temporarily, there's two moments. Previous moment, next moment. So it's not a cause of the eye consciousness. Is it a cause of the eye consciousness? That means in the moment of the cause, the effect can't be there? The effect is there simultaneous with the cause? The effect is arising during the cause? It follows that it is not arising during the cause? Because it has arisen during the cause. It follows that the arising phase and the arisen phase are simultaneous? So if it is arising, it follows it has to be arisen? Take today, it follows tomorrow has arisen? Because it is arising. Arising right now. So there is tomorrow is there today. Friday is there today. One sec. Friday is there today. No, is Friday there today? Is today Friday? Is today not yet Friday? Friday doesn't exist today. Is Friday arising today? Today is not the cause of Friday. Stop with this continuum, just answer the question. Is today a cause of Friday or not? It's not. So today is not a cause for tomorrow. So then Friday has no causes. No causes. Friday is not produced. Is Friday produced? Fine, take Friday, it follows it doesn't exist. Friday doesn't exist. Friday non-existent, right? So on Friday nothing happens. So nothing happens on Friday. So tomorrow you don't have class, you don't have debate, nothing is happening on Friday. No. You have to figure it out. I don't know what the conclusion is. But what you're saying is interesting. But the point is, if it requires perception in that moment, there will be no visible form, there will be no smell, there will be no sound, there will be no touch. Right? But all of these 5 external matters, are they all causes of your sense perceptions? If they're causes of your sense perceptions, then it follows they are objects perceived by the sense perceptions. So stick with the definition, try and make sense of it. That's my point. So take the... Huh?
Quite not been explained because, pillar can be a reason of an eye consciousness from a moment to moment, right?
Yeah.
If it has risen, then you have been able to perceive it.
Stand in front of the pillar and wink at it a lot. In each second, there's no continuum going on here. Huh? You keep winking at the pillar like this. There's individual moments of eye consciousness perceiving a pillar. Yes or no? We're checking. We don't know what right is. We don't know what wrong is. We're definitely not concerned with what right is or what wrong is, right? So if you're winking away at a pillar, you have individual instances of eye consciousness that arise. Yes? Now, this is the thing. Take the eye, okay, go like this. I had one moment of eye consciousness. That pillar was the cause of my eye consciousness. Is the pillar that I saw, did it exist before I opened my eyes or after I opened my eyes? So it follows it was simultaneous with the eye consciousness. So it's not the cause of eye consciousness. Good. You should be stuck. If it's the cause of eye consciousness, it has to precede eye consciousness. So the pillar that I'm seeing, but you don't have to go so far. When you're looking in the reflection, no, even like with light reflections, when you're looking in the mirror in the morning, the image that you see is reflected off your face. You look like you're there simultaneously, but the face that you have here and the reflection, there's a causal moment. Like there's a moment when the reflection arises after you stand in front of it. So even though it looks like they're temporarily simultaneous, they're not. Similarly, if that is getting reflected in my eye sense faculty, there has to be a moment when it is coming here. So if you do that whole, remember in school we had those diagrams of the images, they come, they converge, you get an opposite thing and your brain flips it around. So there is a causal process, no temporal. So there has to be a moment when the eye consciousness is not there and the pillar is projecting its image onto my eye sense faculty. In that moment, the eye consciousness has not arisen. Correct? That's the pillar that my eye consciousness sees later. Correct? So therefore, there has to be a pillar that is the cause of my eye consciousness, and the eye consciousness has to exist when the pillar is no longer there. The pillar that it sees is no longer there. Correct? So now take that pillar that is the cause of eye consciousness. It follows that the eye consciousness exists when there is the pillar or in the next moment of that pillar. It follows it is not the cause of eye consciousness then. Again, we're back to square one. Right? So try and make sense of this. If it is an object of perceived by eye consciousness, does the eye consciousness have to be perceiving it in that moment? No, take it literally, but just give it a different meaning from what you're currently giving it. That's what it means.
That all makes sense, but when you start to think about it as an ongoing thing, about just staring at the pillar, then it seems harder to make sense of it as separable moments. Correct.
Oh, but that's because you're not thinking about it correctly. Simple. Right? You know when the sound is flickering? Like the sound is flickering, if you're really close, you'll hear that it's flickering. Someone who's at a distance, they might not hear a flickering sound, they hear one continuous thing. Right? Or when you see vrrr, like you know those things? When you see those animated things?
These are all man-made items.
So, how's the perception different? So what? Why is one different in terms of temporality?
Because in order to produce the moving picture, you have to separate it into separate still.
And so what's making you feel like this is not happening with a pillar?
Well, I suppose I could accept that there could be these smallest,
So then?
but I don't know, that seems also a little weird.
So then take the pillar, it follows it's impermanent. It follows it is momentary. It follows it is disintegrating. It follows in each moment there's a different pillar. So then what's the difference? Yeah? But anyways, you're not doing, please don't get into some philosophical discussion and debate about whether things are impermanent and what that means. I'm just saying the definition that says object perceived by eye consciousness, does it mean that there has to be an eye consciousness perceiving it in that moment? If it does, this is a bit of an issue, right? So how do you understand object perceived by eye consciousness? Correct? That's the one. Yeah? Yeah. You tell me, is it falling? What's your subject? Take a tree that has fallen, that is falling in a forest. Does it exist? Was it impermanent? Is it fat matter? So then, where's the doubt? Do you need that? I don't know. You have to check. I have a really bad joke. I always say this. There's this very good educationalist called Sir Kenneth Richards, if you've heard of him. He says, if a man speaks his mind and no woman hears it, is he still wrong? Have you heard this one? It's kind of the same thing. But this is the idea, right? So in the definition of existent, what is that existent one? Which says fit to be. Do you remember that? What does it say? Huh? Yeah. Fit to be an object of awareness. So it's not that in that moment there has to be a perception of that thing. That's what it means. It means that its nature allows you to have some validity with respect to it. That's what it means. Yeah? So if it exists as visual form, it has to enable eye consciousness. If it doesn't exist as visual form, it can't enable eye consciousness. That's what it means. So fit to be has that kind of connotation. So the dark side of the moon, if somehow you ended up getting there, where it's just the back of the moon, right? But that's not the dark side of the moon. It's that side which is not seen, or is it just the back of the moon? Yeah. Oh, just the part that we don't see. Yeah, but if you just went there, you'd see it, right? Like, so it's, huh? You went with a flashlight, yeah. I mean, the point is, if you went in a dark room and there was no dark side of the moon and you put on a flashlight, you'd see nothing. The fact that if you went there and you shone a light, you'd see something means that there is something that acts as a basis for eye consciousness. That's what object perceived by eye consciousness means, just that, yeah? There isn't a necessary simultaneous perception, there isn't even a necessary perception per se. We have the excuse of saying Buddha's eye consciousness, like you rightly said, but that's just like, you can get out like that as well. But you get the point? That's what the point is, yeah?
Does it mean it's implicit?
Huh?
Contact with the eye consciousness. It's not necessarily. It has the pillow doesn't have to exist because of it's not on contact with the eye consciousness.
No, it doesn't have to exist because it's always in contact with eye contact. Of course not. Of course not. Yeah. Okay, this, by the way, now you can do a relation. I'm very interested to do this relation because of you. What is the definition of object of awareness? Do we have one of those? What? We have so many different ones. Hang on. One sec. What is the definition of object? Agree? That's the definition of... What's the relation between object and non-existent? Let's do this. If it is an object, it follows it is not non-existent. If it is an object, it follows it is non-existent. For example, it follows it is non-existent. For example, anything, right? If it is non-existent, it follows it is an object. For example, horns of a rabbit. Great. Is there something that's neither? Huh? Is there something that's neither object nor non-existent? You were getting stuck? Never mind. Take horns of a rabbit. It follows they are non-existent. It follows they are not non-existent because they're an object. It follows they are an object because they fulfill the definition of object. What's the definition of object? Take the horns of a pillar. It follows they are an object because they are that which is cognized by an awareness. It follows they are that which is cognized by an awareness because there exists an awareness that cognizes them. It follows there exists an awareness that cognizes them because there is an eye consciousness that cognizes them. It follows that there is no eye consciousness that cognizes them, except it follows that there is an eye consciousness that cognizes them because there is an eye consciousness that sees them. It follows there's no eye consciousness that sees the horns of a rabbit. Did I say pillar? My God, horns of a rabbit. Horns, same thing. Is there no eye consciousness that sees the horns of a rabbit? Okay, is there a mental consciousness that thinks of the horns of a rabbit? Thinks. Is there a mental consciousness that cognizes the horns of a rabbit? Take a mental consciousness that is thinking of the horns of a rabbit. It follows it cognizes the horns of a rabbit? Because it thinks of the horns of a rabbit. I am debating, you please stop asking me questions, answer. It follows it cognizes the horns of a rabbit? It follows it cognizes the horns of a rabbit? Take the horns of a rabbit. It follows they are that which is cognized by an awareness? Four. Right now, stay with the 4 responses. So you'll see me do a lot of this. This means I don't want to hear anything but why, except, reason not established, no pervasion. I haven't, that's not one of the 4. Okay? Take the horns of a rabbit. It follows they are that which is cognized by an awareness because they are cognized by a mental awareness. When it follows they are cognized by a mental awareness. Answer. Sa. It follows they are an object. It follows. It follows. Why and except? No problem. Take the horns of a rabbit. It follows they are that which is, it follows they're an object.
Why?
Because they are cognized by an awareness.
I'm stuck there.
So then the only thing you can say is no pervasion.
No pervasion.
What no pervasion?
Because the consciousness, the internal.
I'm going to have to start writing down what no pervasion means. Yeah, it's like this. This is a syllogism, right? There's a subject, predicate, reason. Over here you say why or except, right?
Yes.
And how do you tell? Here you say it follows, right?
Yes.
And here you say because, right?
Yes.
And here you can say reason not established, or you can say no pervasion. Correct?
Yes.
When you're saying reason not established, what are you saying? Make this clear, get this clear. What are you saying when you say reason not established?
Because the relationship.
No, it's more specific. This is reason not established. This is reason not established. You're only thinking about the subject and the reason. Correct? When you're saying no pervasion, what are you saying? No, it's not even that.
There's no relationship.
No relation between reason and predicate.
That's what it is. You're only considering these two. You're saying just because something is not subject, the subject is not involved anymore. Right? Just because something is the reason, it doesn't mean it has to be the predicate.
I thought when you gave a no pervasion response, it had to be the subject, the reason had to be established to give a no pervasion.
To give it, but when you're saying no pervasion, what you're thinking of is just because something is this, it doesn't mean it has to be like tomorrow it is going to rain because the weather forecast says so. Like if you look at your, like Dharamshala is really bad with the weather forecast, right? They almost never get it right. Yeah, ever. It's notoriously bad. So if you kind of went and you looked at AccuWeather or whatever it is that you look at, and you saw the thing tomorrow, it would say Friday, which doesn't exist according to... it would say Friday, and then it'll show like rain, right? So you're saying, okay, so the subject, Friday, tomorrow, it will rain, predicate, because the app says so, right? Now, when you're saying no pervasion, you're not saying tomorrow it is not necessary that tomorrow it will rain because the app says so. You're just saying generally, if the app says it's going to rain, it doesn't mean it has to rain. That's it. Yeah, so the app is saying it's going to rain, but you're saying just because something says it's going to rain doesn't mean that tomorrow it is going to rain. So that's when you say no pervasion. Got it? So in this case, the no pervasion, my syllogism was, so now just tell me this. If I say, take the horns of a rabbit, it follows they're an object because they are cognized by an awareness. If you say reason not established, what are you saying? Are not cognized by an awareness. If you say no pervasion, what are you saying? All of you who are like, can do this in your sleep, please don't say anything like that. Let me hear the others. What is no pervasion? Yeah. Take the horns of a rabbit. Take the horns of a rabbit. Oh, you wanted the answer? The answer. Go try with me. Try, yeah? Take the horns of a rabbit. It follows they're an object because they are cognized by an awareness. If you say reason not established, what are you saying? No, reason not established. First go with reason not established. The horns of a rabbit are what? Tell me that. What am I saying? Take horns of a rabbit, it follows they're an object because they're cognized by an awareness. No. I'm asking you, if you were to retort with reason not established, what would you be saying? No. No. Here, okay. Take my head, it follows it is pink because it is multicolored. That's my syllogism. Just go with it. Okay? What is reason not established? Huh? No. What are you disagreeing with when you say reason not established? What are you disagreeing with when you say no pervasion? There's a specific thing to it, right? So my head is pink because it's multicolored. When you say reason not established, what are you saying? My head is not multicolored. That's why you're only thinking of the subject and the reason. Is that okay? Yeah? When you say no pervasion, what are you saying? Yes, just because something is multicolored, it doesn't mean it has to be pink. So in our language, if something is multicolored, it doesn't follow it is necessarily pink. That's what no pervasion is, right? It doesn't bring in the subject. Yeah? So much so that, and I think you should get used to this now because one of the most kind of like, you can trash talk in debate. There is a debate trash talk as well, right? So one of the biggest disses in debate languages, if you use the subject when you say no pervasion, you haven't understood anything. That's kind of like a trash talk in Tibetan. We have a nasty way of saying it. So it's like trash talk in a debate courtyard. So you better learn that this is not fine. When you say no pervasion, you don't think of the subject. Okay? Let's use 10 examples. You'll try and get it. We all going to do it? Take Anastasia. It follows she is, my God, I don't want to say something offensive. It follows she is 6 feet tall because she is the Eiffel Tower. For example. Reason not established would mean what? Right? But has everyone got it? Because I'm seeing a lot of people not answering. So I want all of you to say it. I won't call you, I am going to call you by name. I asked your permission on the first day. What does it mean? Yeah, so when I say Anastasia is 6 feet tall because she is the Eiffel Tower, what does reason not established mean? No, that's the predicate. Yeah, that she's not the Eiffel Tower. What does no pervasion mean? Okay, that's the colloquial way of talking about no pervasion. But in debate language, what does no pervasion mean over here? No pervasion. Reason and predicate. Between the reason and predicate. So when you say no pervasion, you say, okay, can I explain what the word pervasion means so you understand it? Yeah? No pervasion means the reason is not pervaded by the predicate. Said in normal English. Okay? The reason is not pervaded by the predicate. I mean, it's not normal English, but that's how you'd explain it. Okay? Does that make sense? What that means is, so the idea of pervaded is, again gives an example of pervaded. He says, if the clouds, there was complete cloud cover today, right, and you saw no sky, kind of like monsoon in Dharamshala, then the sky is pervaded by clouds. There's clouds everywhere. So when you're saying the reason is pervaded by the predicate, it means wherever there is the reason, there has to be the predicate as well. That's all it means. Okay? So when you're saying no pervasion, essentially you're saying it's not true that wherever you have the reason, the predicate also has to be there. You're saying the predicate does not pervade the reason. Okay? Is that okay? Yeah? Yes? No? Yes. Animal is not pervaded by cat. Yes. So we're asking what is pervading, what is pervaded. The cat is pervaded by animal, the animal pervades cat. Yeah? Okay. Don't let it get mixed up. Is that okay? So now we're coming back to our syllogism. Now come back to the one. Anastasia is 6 feet tall because she's the Eiffel Tower. What is no pervasion? Just because something is the Eiffel Tower, it has to be 6 feet tall, right? Being the Eiffel Tower is not pervaded by being 6 feet tall. That's all it means. Okay? Can we try another one? Jay? Take this marker. It follows it is orange because it is the sun. What is reason not established? Perfect. What is no pervasion? But what would it be if there was no pervasion? Take this marker, it follows it is orange because it is the sun. No, when you say no pervasion, what would you be saying? What would you be saying? What doesn't pervade what? Marker is subject. Take the marker, it follows it is orange because it is the sun. Huh? That's what you're checking for the pervasion of. But how are you saying when you're saying no pervasion? When you say there is no pervasion, what is not pervading what? The sun is not pervaded by being orange. In other words, if it is the sun, it doesn't follow it is necessarily orange. So when I ask you to give me the pervasion back, that's what you say. You say, if it is the reason, it doesn't follow it is necessarily the predicate. No, orange doesn't pervade the sun, Mark. You've just done this whole nice what pervades, what is pervaded. What's the predicate? What's the predicate? What's the reason? What has to pervade what? You just said it. No! The predicate has to pervade the reason. What do you mean you told me? Yeah, that's true. Okay, can we try one more? Kai, can you try? Please try. Please try. Please try. Just try. This light, yeah? This light is, I just make anything absurd up. One sec, let's just go easier. That Tara is Manjushri because she is orange. No, one sec. No. Reason not established will mean what? That Tara, the one in the middle, the white one, huh? That Tara is Manjushri because she is orange. Reason not established will be what? That's the predicate. That Tara is Manjushri because she is orange. That's your syllogism. When you say reason not established, what are you saying? No. What's the reason? What's the reason?
The reason, because Manjushri, Manjushri can be also orange.
I think I understand what's happening. You're not thinking of the reason as the third part of a syllogism. All of you are thinking of the reason as the whole thing or as the reasoning.
I think I don't understand this word you explained.
Reason.
No, pervasion.
Pervasion. But we're not even doing pervasion yet. I know, but let's leave pervasion first. Just do reason. Let's do reason first. Let's leave pervasion, we'll do reason first. I think and it's normal. Normally, what? What? To see what? Oh, see a syllogism. Okay, sure. Okay, we have to get this now. Yeah?
Because if we don't get this, I mean, I
Yeah,
can't do anything.
yeah, I agree. Here.
It's not that bad.
No one having spaces. Okay? Okay, just get your terminology right, okay? Get the terminology right. Here, get the terminology right. A syllogism is this plus this plus this. When you say reason, you're not thinking of a syllogism. We did it yesterday. What is the relation between reason and syllogism? You said all said mutually exclusive, so you know that they're not the same thing, okay? When you say reason not established, you're not saying your reasoning is faulty. That's too generic. Reasoning and faulty in debate language will simply be your syllogism is flawed. It's too generic. Okay? Are we clear? We haven't even gotten into the detail yet. So saying your reasoning is faulty just means your syllogism doesn't make sense. Correct? That's all it means. Now, why doesn't it make sense? That's what we're checking. Is that okay? So why it makes sense or doesn't make sense is either because, now you're looking at the syllogism, okay? A pen, you take a pen, it follows it is space because it is a cow. Everyone on earth knows this syllogism is faulty, so the reasoning is completely absurd, right? It's like, it's just absurd. Okay? Is that okay? Now, what's wrong with it? One, the first thing that's wrong with it is a pen is not a cow. Correct? That's reason not established. Is that okay? That's reason not established. So when you're saying the reason is not established, what it means is whatever the reason is not established here. Okay? So the rule is when you say reason not established, you don't care what the predicate is. It doesn't matter to you. Is that okay? Yeah? Reason is not established means this is not established here. So you will not be able to prove that cows have anything to do with pens because pens are not cows. Okay? That's reason not established. Done? Yes? If it's a no or it's not clear, tell me now. Clear?
Yes, but maybe you can also draw that, relationship.
Yeah.
No, it was just, the answer would be, for me, Manjushri has nothing to do with Tara. That you wanted to do?
No, I wanted to hear what you mean when you say reason not established. So now I'm asking you here, take a pen, it follows it is not space, it follows it is space because it is a cow. And you say reason not established. What are you saying? Now I'm going to have all of you say it. What are you saying? No, a pen is not a cow. That's it. That's all you're saying. It reason not established. All you're saying is a pen is not a cow. Period. Yeah? Okay? Martin, what are you saying when you say reason not established?
A pen is not a cow.
Right? That's all you're thinking of. There you go. Got it? Does anyone have any doubts with respect to this without me doing a round? You have a doubt, Shmuel? Tell me. Yeah. The reason is cow. The reason is cow. Okay? When you're saying reason not established, you're just saying a pen is not a cow. Got it? Yeah? Now what happens when you say no pervasion? Let me write it. What's the German word for pervasion? I don't know what how to help you on that. Okay. Good. I actually I can help you on this. Gen says in his book, he says, if no pervasion doesn't make sense for you in the beginning, say it doesn't follow or not necessarily. Is that okay? Is that better? Not necessarily or it doesn't follow. Is that easier for you? I'm trying to find other words in English. Give me help me. What other words can you have in English? That too, we have to explain. But we need a word that's not pervasion, huh? Yeah, okay. So when you say, there's two reasons why this entire syllogism is flawed. One is because a pen is not a cow. And the other reason is because everything that is a cow doesn't have to be space. Okay? So, if it is a cow, it doesn't follow it is necessarily space. That's what you mean when you say no pervasion. Is that okay? Or when you say it doesn't follow, or I can try to find. It doesn't follow it. It doesn't automatically have to be space. Something like that. Okay? First, let's do this. Wait. First, let's get this. Okay? Okay? When you say no pervasion, what do you tell me? What have you understood?
Well, I wrote down, for me it was like, if it's a cow, it's not necessarily space.
That's right, that's it. There's nothing more to it. Mark wanted all kinds of other necessarily, automatically, and all kinds of things. I was trying to be as concise as possible. Don't add anything more right now. Okay, just that. That's all it is. Now we're going to do 10 syllogisms, and all of you are going to answer. So that I'm sure that I go home and I sleep happily. Okay? Who hasn't got it yet? Please tell me.
Can you say just because it's the reason doesn't mean it's the predicate?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly it. But okay.
I know that sounds
No, it's absolutely up. But why do you think we've been doing if it is A, it follows it is necessarily B, if it is B, it follows? All that is the same language that you're doing with pervasions, okay? Okay, is that okay? Yeah? Okay? Now, take white Tara. It follows she is Manjushri because she is orange. What is reason not established? White Tara is Manjushri because she is orange. The reason is orange. When you say reason not established, what does it mean? No, I didn't. Take white Tara. It follows she is Manjushri because she is orange. What is reason not established? What is no pervasion? No. Just because it is orange doesn't mean Manjushri, yeah. There's white Manjushri, there's black Manjushri, there's all kinds, right? So just because something is orange, it doesn't mean it has to be Manjushri. And there's many things that are orange that are not Manjushri, like an orange. Okay? Right? Who's now got it? Now I'm going to have to do a round one by one. I'm sorry. Now you can't keep quiet because then tomorrow you'll be like, I haven't got it again. Now we have 20 minutes. All of you have to be. Spotlight. We start from here. Anastasia, please take. I'm going to make. No. There. Now we have to do it. Sorry.
Can you talk slow?
Of course, very slow. Take this pillar. It follows it is made of, it follows it is plastic because it is purple.
Okay.
Reason not established will be what?
The pillar is not purple.
Great. No pervasion?
Just because it is purple, it's not plastic.
There you go. Done. Yeah?
Same one?
No. No way. No way. Yeah? Take this book. It follows it is Tibetan because it is blank. No reason not established.
It is not blank.
This book is not blank.
Reason not
Take this
established.
book. It follows it is Tibetan because it is blank. You said it, but just say it
okay.
with the subject. Say it with the subject. This book is not blank.
This book is not blank.
Exactly. No pervasion?
And what was the
Take this
provision?
book.
The Tibetan?
It follows it is Tibetan because it is blank.
Just because it's blank doesn't mean it's Tibetan.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Kai? Oh, you've done Manjushri and Tara. You want to do another one?
No.
Okay. Just pass it behind. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I think the thing is not working. Okay.
Today.
It follows it is Monday because it is Friday. Reason not established?
Today is not Friday.
No provision?
Monday has to be a Friday.
No, Friday has to be Monday.
Friday has to be Monday.
It follows it is Monday because it is Friday. No provision means?
Friday have to be Monday.
When you say no provision, you're saying if something is Friday, it doesn't have to be Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good if it's absurd. Now I'm going to ask Mark an important one. Because he wanted a meaningful one. I did? Yes. Take Mark. It follows he is selfless because he is dependently originated. Reason not established.
Like Mark is not dependently originated.
No provision?
If he's dependently
If something is dependent.
if something is dependently originated, it doesn't follow it's selfless.
There you go. Okay? Take sound, it follows it as a prominent because it is produced. Yes. Yeah, reason not established. In impermanent because it is produced. Its performance has actually. Reason not established?
It sounds weird to say it. Reason not established. Reason is established.
If you said reason not established, what would you be saying?
Sound is not produced.
If you said no provision, what would you be saying?
If it is produced, it doesn't follow that it is impermanent.
There you go. Vijay? What are you writing? Stop writing all about. Okay, listen. Just a minute. Take a pot. It follows, it is hollow because it is big. Reason not established. You can literally say anything.
The pot is not big.
No provision?
Just because it's big, it's not necessarily hollow.
There you go. Ronella? Yeah? Take Ronella. It follows she's from Mexico because she speaks Spanish. Reason not established? Right. No provision? Just because she speaks Spanish. Mexico. And you? Where are you from?
Canada.
Oh, I was going to use that as bad example. Say venerable, it follows she's from France because she speaks French.
Venerable is not,
Reason not established.
reason established.
If I said reason not established, what would it be?
Venerable is not from France.
The reason
Venerable is not French.
doesn't speak French.
Doesn't speak French.
No provision?
Just because I don't speak French doesn't mean
Just because you speak French.
just because I speak French doesn't mean I'm
From France. There you go. Great. Padula, now the mic, just so that you have double embarrassment when you get it. When you have it. Please pass the mics on. Yeah? Okay? Got it?
No stress.
No stress. Take rice. It follows it is spicy because it is white. Reason not established. No provision. What would it be?
Rice is not white.
No
Just be-
provision?
Just because it is white, it's not necessarily spicy.
Spicy. Venerable?
Yeah.
Take chilies. Oh, one sec. You know, like you go to the... this is very common. You go to buy fruit and then the man says, oh, my mango is very sweet. See, it's so red. Take a mango. It follows it is sweet because it is red. Reason not established.
Mango is not red.
No provision?
Because it's red, it's not necessarily sweet.
Great. J. Yeah?
Oh, I'm
Yeah?
my arm.
Okay? Okay? Yeah? Take John, it follows he hasn't understood anything because he is quiet. Why not?
Reason not established. John is quiet.
What's the reason not established then?
John, just because John is
No,
quiet.
reason not established.
Because he is quiet doesn't mean he's
So that's now I've done the drawing. Can I make it easier for you? I made it really long. Okay, one sec. Let's do this one.
Okay.
Take, let's use an Indian name. Take Amit. It follows he's good at math because he is Indian. And let's say Amit is actually from Pakistan, right? Amit is good at mathematics because he's Indian. So,
Just because he's Indian.
no, reason not established. First step.
Because he is Indian doesn't mean he's John. Amit doesn't mean he's Amit.
Take Amit. it follows he is good at math because he is Indian. If you said reason not established, now break it up. Break up the syllogism, okay? What's the subject?
Amit,
What's the predicate?
good at math,
What's the reason?
Indian.
When you say reason not established, what are you saying?
Oh, Amit is Indian.
So you're saying Amit is not Indian when you say reason not established. Checking whether the reason is established or not is whether Amit is Indian or not, right? Got it? Now, no pervasion. And in this case, the reason is not established because Amit is from Pakistan. Okay? Now, no pervasion.
Just because he is Indian doesn't mean that he is good at math.
Perfect. Jason. Okay? Ooh. So this is someone, hypothetical scenarios. This is someone from Spiti. Okay? You know where Spiti is, right? Oh God, never mind. From Nepal. Someone called Tashi from Nepal. Take Tashi, it follows she is Buddhist because she is Tibetan. Reason not established.
Tashi is not Tibetan.
No pervasion.
Just because Tashi is
No pervasion.
okay.
I know what you're doing.
Someone is
Yes.
Tibetan, it doesn't
Mean that
necessarily mean that they're.
exactly. Your turn. Yeah? Oh gosh. I had this one, and this was a really funny one that I actually experienced this in Sarnath, so I'm going to do this. Take the Buddha, it follows he is Tibetan because he teaches Buddhism. Reason not established.
Teaching Buddhism isn't necessarily.
No, there's no necessarily. Buddha is Tibetan because he teaches Buddhism. Reason not established will be, look at the diagram. Buddha is subject, Tibetan is predicate, teaches Buddhism is reason.
But Buddhists teach Buddhism, so the reason is established.
So what are you checking for if you say reason established or not?
The validity of the reason with the subject?
So is the reason established in this case?
It is.
Right. Is there a pervasion in this case?
Not necessarily, because being Tibetan and teaching
So now, but
Buddhism-
say it to me, why is there no pervasion? Because when we're debating, I'm going to say, what no pervasion? And you have to give it back to me. So then?
Teaching Buddhism doesn't necessarily mean that you're Tibetan.
Exactly. And my neighbor in Sarnath, where the Buddha turned the first turning of the wheel, in Sarnath, my neighbor said, oh yeah, the Buddha was Tibetan, no? I was like, what is wrong with you? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, he taught Buddhism. Buddhism is from Tibet. What are you saying? Okay? Okay. Yeah? Okay. Take a rose, it follows it stinks because it is garbage. You can come up with anything.
Rose.
Reason not established.
Rose, stink and garbage. Garbage, reason not established is garbage is not a rose.
No, it's the other way around.
Sorry, rose is not a garbage.
Yeah, subject.
Yeah.
See, look there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Otherwise, in MacLeod, there's a very good tattoo parlor. All of you can go up and get this tattooed on your forearm so that every time you wonder what the deal, you can refer to it like that. Or you can do a temporary henna tattoo until you memorize it, okay? Okay, reason not established is that what? Take a rose, it follows it stinks because it's garbage. What are you going to say?
Whatever is a garbage,
Reason not established is a rose is not garbage. No pervasion?
No pervasion is just because it is, it stinks.
No.
No, just because it's a garbage, it doesn't follows that it stinks.
It stinks, exactly. Like you can have dry paper garbage as well, no? Shmuel? Yeah? Take this throne, it follows it is His Holiness's throne because it is higher than that throne. Is the reason established?
Except.
If the reason was not established, what would it mean?
that this throne is not higher than that throne.
That throne. So the reason is established.
Yes.
No pervasion.
Just because it is higher than that throne doesn't follow it is the throne of His Holiness.
There you go. Got it? Yeah? Take Sangmula. It follows she knows everything about debate because she is the director of Thosamling. If the reason is established or not, how will you do it?
It doesn't mean if you have this teach how you.
I'll say it again. Listen to the subject. Subject is you
Yeah.
know everything about debate
Because
because you are the director.
it does not mean that if you are a director.
That's no pervasion. Reason not established first. Again, you,
Yeah.
Sangmula,
Yeah.
knows everything about debate because she is the director. Look there.
Yeah.
Are you the director or are you not the director? That's what you're checking.
Oh.
Yes?
If it is Sangmo, it doesn't mean that.
There's no ifs here. Is Sangmo the director or not? That's all you're checking.
Okay.
Yes?
Mm.
Got it? We'll try another one. We have to get it right. We said today we have to get it.
No, we should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
until 10 o'clock.
No, that's fine. I am in no rush. Okay? Plus there's only few people left. Okay? Now, let's do another one. We can actually do this. This is a fun one. Take that t-shirt or take this shirt, right? It follows it is Chinese because it has a Chinese collar. This shirt. Subject is Chinese because it has Chinese collar.
If it is Chinese color.
No, that's again. But see, you're thinking about the reason first. When you think of, you're thinking of reason not established, you have to consider two parts, the subject and the reason.
Subject and
What's the subject?
T-shirt.
This shirt is the subject.
Shirt.
What's the predicate?
It has this label.
No. The predicate is Chinese.
Oh, it's Chinese.
And the reason is?
Because it has a label.
Because it has a?
Label? You said
Whatever, yeah.
That's a collar.
Yeah,
Okay.
this kind of collar, right? Okay.
Okay. If
What's
it has
reason
a
not
collar,
established?
it doesn't mean it had to be a T-shirt. No.
Better get it done. Or you can write it on your wall inside when you're sleeping at night. Let's do it again. This shirt, let's make it really easy. Take this shirt. It follows it is blue because it is orange. Don't suggest. Subject, this shirt. Predicate, blue. Reason, orange.
Or, blue cannot be orange. Orange cannot be blue.
But reason established or not? When I say reason not established, what does it mean?
Reason is not established.
Why not?
Why? Because orange is not blue.
Then what is no pervasion?
My pervasion.
If that is the reason not established, then what does no pervasion mean? This shirt is orange because it is blue because it's orange. What's no pervasion? Look there.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Badly. Honestly badly, yeah.
Yeah?
So if you look at the pen, then
Pen is your subject, space is your predicate, cow is your reason. Now here you have shirt, blue and orange. If you're seeing whether the reason is established, what are you checking?
Then if it is orange, it doesn't have to be a shirt?
No, you're checking if see the arrow, it's going like this, right?
Yeah, okay.
You're checking whether this shirt is orange or not. That's it.
Okay.
So the
if
reason
this
is
red, it
established means
doesn't
what?
mean that it should be orange,
No, you're just saying the shirt is not orange. Period.
period.
Okay? No pervasion.
No provision.
Look here.
Mm.
No pervasion is looking at the reason and the predicate.
If it is orange, it doesn't mean it comes from,
It has to be blue.
it has to be blue.
Yeah, so your no pervasion is quicker. Your reason not established, you need to get a little clear. Okay? No pervasion means if it is this reason, it doesn't mean that it has to be the predicate. Okay? And reason not established is the subject is not the reason. Period. Yeah? Someone, I want to come back later, huh? Yeah. Okay? I'm trying to think of one. Take bread, it follows. Okay. Yeah, okay. Take bread, it follows it is nutritious because it is made with wheat. Is the reason established?
Yes, because bread is made with wheat.
Right. Is there pervasion?
Can you give me the thing again?
Take bread, it follows it is nutritious because it is made with wheat.
I don't know, but I would say just because it's nutritious, it doesn't
That's the other way around.
necessarily that it's
It's
made
the
with
other way around. What's the reason?
So give me the thing again. Give me the whole
Take bread, it follows it is nutritious because it is made with wheat.
thing. So just because it's made with wheat, it's not necessarily
Nutritious, right? That's all that you look at. Archana? Yeah? Take a tiger, it follows it is a dog because it has claws.
Reason is established because tiger has claws.
Yeah, and no pervasion?
Just because it has claws, it doesn't follow that it has to be a dog.
Right. Venerable? Take a dog, it follows. No, too easy, too easy. Take the sky, it follows it is water because it is blue.
Sky is not blue.
Reason not established, right? No pervasion?
Just because it's blue, it isn't follow. It's
Yeah.
follow that. I say it isn't, or
It doesn't have to be. You can say it like that also.
Have to be blue.
Doesn't have to be?
Whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dinesh ji, I could have easily missed you because I can't see you. No. stay. Yeah. Take Dinesh. It follows he is not here because I can't see him. Huh?
Yeah.
What yeah? No. What is reason not established? Is the reason established?
Yes.
I can't see you.
Yes.
Why is the reason established?
Because of the pillar.
No. In the syllogism, what does reason established mean over here? Take Dinesh, I can't see him. He's not here because I can't see him.
Okay. Dinesh.
Yeah?
Because Dinesh.
If I say reason not established, what am I saying?
Dinesh is, you cannot see the Dinesh.
Exactly, I can't see Dinesh. And no pervasion?
No, because you cannot see me.
Yes?
It doesn't mean, sir, I am not here.
There you go, perfect. Meenakshi ji? Take Meenakshi, it follows she is in here because I can see her.
So the reason is established.
Why?
You can see Meenakshi.
There you go. And no pervasion? Is there pervasion?
What was it again?
Take Meenakshi, it follows she is here because I can see her.
There is pervasion.
What's the pervasion?
I can see her, so
If-
she's necessarily here.
If I can see her, it follows she's here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Take Annette, it follows she is last because she answered last.
Reason not established.
You did answer last, did you?
Got to go. Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, so Annette answered last. Reason established.
Reason is established, right? No pervasion would mean what?
just because she's answered last doesn't mean to say that she is last.
That's it.
So could you also say that just because she answered last isn't, no, wait a minute. The fact that she's answered last isn't pervaded by meaning
Being
that
last.
being last.
Yes,
Could
you can say it
as
like
well?
that. But I suggest you say it doesn't follow that she's last.
Doesn't follow that she
Yeah?
is.
Okay? Yeah? Okay. Now, because you're struggling with this, I'd given you these relations. Now it's time to do them. Okay? So now, make a syllogism. Now do the relations tonight. Okay? So your A's and B's, yeah? So you have all the stuff from before. Please keep doing that because we haven't touched upon that yet. But also do this because now we need to get familiar with syllogisms, yeah? Please do. Your A is a syllogism with a accept response. Yes? Accept reply. I need to make this thing again. A syllogism with an accept reply and a syllogism with only an accept reply. Yeah? Okay? Then a syllogism with a reason not established reply and a syllogism with only a reason not established reply. And then the third one you can guess. And then a syllogism with a no pervasion reply and a syllogism with only a no pervasion reply. Yeah, just do these three at least. Okay? Just to remind you, is that okay? No, have you written down? Have you got it is another question. Sure. A syllogism with a no pervasion reply and a syllogism with only a no pervasion reply. Yeah? Is that okay? Okay, yeah. Yeah, let me just finish that, okay? Is that okay? Have you all written this? Just to remind you, why is not considered a reply? Yeah? Is that okay? Why is considered a question. So why is a response, not a reply? Yeah? Okay? Yeah. Anastasia, what were you saying?
Now that we were doing these examples, I wonder whether we at some point will have like a question to ask when the predicate or the reason is like very unspecific.
Yes, you will, many times.
Because if it's unspecific, it's not established. It's just
You can't say whether it's yeah, I agree. But that will happen. And at that point, what you'll notice you tend to do is you don't use that as a reason because it's irrelevant to you. If the reason that you give is so unspecific that you can't say it is established or it is not established, it has no benefit to you. If the predicate can be unspecific, then you can't understand whether you say why or accept. That's what you're saying, right? And remember in the text, that was when you say doubt, when you're like, I can't really say why or accept, right? That kind. Or unspecific also will be, that'll come, don't worry, that comes later. Okay? Yeah, but doesn't matter. You won't be saying it here as well, very much. Okay? Can you do me a favor? Can you run through the previous ones so that you warm up, but then you definitely do these three? Because you're already starting to answer reason not established well, but now I'd like for you to also start answering with no pervasions when we debate, and this will become clear if you do syllogisms a lot. So please do these three at the end, yeah? With an accept reply, with an only accept reply, with no pervasion reply, only no pervasion. Just the sheer effort of having to conceive of a syllogism and have to constantly wonder whether it is reason established, no pervasion, or it's accept is going to make you exercise in that, yeah? Is that okay? Also, now, also to remind all of you that it's your third official debate session. So if you're not getting it yet, please don't be disheartened yet. It's the third time in your pool. It doesn't mean you know how to swim. So take it easy if you're not getting it. But just keep at it, yeah?